Hello everybody, thanks very much for joining us. I'm Philip Duncan. Well, the weekend was a little cooler in some areas, but as we go through this week, warmer westerlies, they're on the way. This is the animated wind map for Monday, and we're thrown in the air pressure. So you can see in bright white, the big high out to our east. You can see in the purple and the dark colours, low pressure to the northeast. But this is the main feature, this big area of low pressure in the Southern Ocean. It's got a number of fronts attached to it, and there are more lows behind this one. And this is basically going to fuel the next set of westerlies that are coming in towards the country. And they are likely to be around for at least another week, if not longer. And it means warmer weather coming, especially if you live in the east. In fact, double-digit overnight lows in places like Canterbury. A little bit unusual at the depths of winter, but that's what we've got. Now, I wanted to show you this big picture for Tuesday, extra wide screen, because I wanted to show you the change that's coming in. Here's New Zealand. There's our departing high. Here comes the first area of low pressure, the second one, the third one, and they've all got fronts attached to it. North of us, high pressure extends all the way off the screen, out over the Indian Ocean. So that encourages a lot of westerlies. Now the southern part of Australia has just been blasted by this. It does lose some of its oomph once it reaches New Zealand, but we do have this westerly change coming for Tuesday, and this is the close-up of Tuesday. So you can see it waiting over in the wings, but for Tuesday itself, there's still a fair bit of high pressure over the North Island. In fact, it might even be foggy when you wake up in the north. But that rain, it lingers around the East Cape, Gisborne area still, but finally does come to an end on Tuesday. It all clears away, and that's because this change is moving through. So by the end of Tuesday, the rain clouds come in, and those westerlies, they're already being felt on Tuesday, and that's why it will be a mild day across much of the South Island. To Wednesday, and the first front comes through, there'll be a few isolated thunderstorms, and that's because we're going to transition to a slightly cooler westerly airflow, slightly cooler ahead of the, behind the nor'wester that's ahead of it. So it's a little burst of warm nor'westers, then it turns westerly. Nothing major, but just might be enough to spark a thunderstorm, and if it doesn't spark a thunderstorm, you might just get a big downpour as it comes through. Then we get through to Thursday, and we're back to fairly settled around the North Island and all along the eastern side of the country. It'll be a nice day. High pressures to the north, and the westerlies, they're surging back in with the next cold front. And that moves through on Friday, leaving showers behind, and a slightly cooler day on Friday as a result of the southwest change. The next high is just to our north, and we get into Saturday, and that high is trying to come through for the north of the country. But look what's behind it, a big surge of nor'westers. And this is coming out of Australia. So I expect this coming weekend, or at least maybe this Saturday or Sunday for some areas, might even be Monday next week for others, we're about to get a warm burst of nor'westers, and then again more west to southwest winds behind it. So I guess this early spring is starting to lock itself in, but I've got to say, August is a very upside down month. We could get a snowstorm at any time. All it takes is a southerly. Remember, the air is very, very cold just south of us. The reason why it's warm, the reason why we're getting this early spring is because we're not getting those big southerlies at the moment. We're getting the warmer airflows instead. That's all from me. We'll update you again on Tuesday.